Hello and welcome to another Vlogtober video. I'm going to start the next Vlogtober video here. I'm still at home. I'm leaving for Norway tomorrow morning, so I thought I would just tell you what my knitting status is at the moment and which project I've decided to take with me. In my last Vlogtober video, I was saying I wasn't sure which project to take with me. Well, I have decided now, and I'm going to pack it soon. So I'm going to tell you what I've been knitting. So I finished one of the projects I was working on in the last Vlogtober video, and I've started a new one to take with me to Norway. And then we'll see. Hopefully I'll be able to film a bit when I'm traveling tomorrow. I've got a very long day traveling. More about that in a minute, and then a little bit when I arrive in Norway. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, my name is Anniken. I design knitting patterns. I teach knitting workshops online and in person, and I normally sell yarn through our website YarnAddict.co.uk. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's closed while I'm in Norway. But you can still sign up for my online courses. You can find them at YarnAddict.co.uk as well, and you can of course buy my digital patterns. So even though you can't buy yarn, you can still support me in other ways. So I really appreciate if you want to go and check those out. If you've been watching my last Vlogtober video, you'll know I have a cold. I've had it since Saturday. It's Tuesday today. Cold is still going strong. I'm feeling better. I've done quite a bit of work this morning. Finished writing a pattern for a magazine and sent that off. And I'm just going to write a bit of my newsletter for Friday, so I can just add the link to this Vlogtober video when I upload it on Thursday. So a really long day of traveling tomorrow. I have to leave here at 7, catch a train at 7:30. So let's talk about what I was working on yesterday. So I filmed the last Vlogtober video, which was out on Tuesday. That was a little bit from the knitting and child from our workshop done on Saturday, and just what I've been working on for the last few days. My Sunday video was on the new issue of Knitting magazine, which is in the shops in the UK now, issue 264. That's what it looks like. My design is this one. That's my design in this issue, so that's in the shops in the UK now. If you want to see more about that, that video was out last Sunday. And I think the Knitter, last issue of the Knitter, which I can't remember which issue that is still in the shops as well. And don't forget to check out my knit and stitch workshops in Harrogate at the Knit and Stitch show in November, and my workshops at the Sewing Box, Brixham and Spinning Yarn in November and December. Okay, so let's talk about what I was knitting yesterday and the day before. So I finished, in my last Vlogtober video, I was working on a new clutch design. So I finished it. I haven't attached the clutch frame yet. So it's got this, that's where I was when I stopped filming last time. So I did all the rest of it yesterday. So a gorgeous beaded slip stitch pattern. Really like this. I'd stitched the edging into it, because, right, excuse the rustling of papers here. I've got one of these clutch frames from Mimey and Florrie, and I watched a video yesterday on how to attach it. And what she recommends is that you put a tiny bit of glue in here and then you slide the fabric in here. And she did the knitted fabric and glued it all in. And then she did the lining, but her lining was just, I think, just a single piece of cotton. It wasn't lined. I've used felt, so it's a lot thicker, because I like felt because it's a lot thicker, and also it has a lot more structure to it, and it's easier to sew if you're not a brilliant sewer. And if you use cotton, I normally recommend using interfacing just to get the lining a little bit of structure. She didn't. She just did a plain cotton lining, I think. And then she fit the lining in and with super glue, and then screwed all these screws around here. I don't know if you can see that. There's these spaces around here. It's about 12 screws, I think. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6 on each half. So I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do this. I've just realized I've lost a screw. Okay. So what I did yesterday was I will try and put this in and see if I'm happy with it before I glue it in. Also, I didn't have any super glue, and I was trying to do it, and it was difficult to get the knitted fabric to stay in. So I thought if I sew the lining into the top of the clutch bag first, and then I can put the whole thing in together rather than two separate layers. So I was trying to do that, and then I was going to try and screw it down. I started screwing one screw in. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. And it kind of got stuck. My little screwdriver is useless, and I can't get this screw back out again. So I need to ask Simon if he can help me. I need to double check how many screws I've actually got, because she said normally she'll include a couple extra. But I need to try and get that out somehow, because at the moment I can't get it out, which means I also can't close this clutch frame. So I need to get some super glue. So I think I'm going to leave that till I get home back from Norway. I'm going to take the measurements in a minute so I can finish writing the pattern. I'll write the pattern so that it works with my metal clutch frames. But I wanted to try that wooden clutch frame just to see if I like it. And then if I do, I might see if I can find some wholesale ones or similar ones. Yeah, I'm very happy with the actual clutch. Back to the lining in a minute. So I was saying in my last Vlogtober video, I was thinking about casting on for another one. I only have room for a tiny project in my backpack. I probably should take a sock or something, but I don't really fancy knitting socks at the moment. So I'm taking this project bag, and I wound up these two balls last night. They're Yatka merino cotton, which is there. I know that you don't have to wind them up. I don't like the shape of those balls. I don't like knitting from them. I find knitting from this a lot easier. I've got the beads out, crochet hook, everything I need. I cast on for the base last night and started knitting it. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows, and I haven't worked on this today. I've been working on my crochet project. So I'm not going to work on this anymore, because I'm thinking the stocking stitch will be really good for the train tomorrow. And then hopefully I can finish that on the train. Train is 4 hours, 4.5 hours? No, hang on. I've got quite a lot of time on the train. If I sleep okay tonight, I'll probably be fine on the train tomorrow. If I'm as tired as I am today, I'll probably want to nap on the train tomorrow. So I'm not too tired, because once I get to Stansted, I won't be able to have a nap till I get on the plane. And because it's in the evening, I don't really want a nap then, because I want to be able to sleep when I get to my parents. It's really weird, because I've not been sleeping well for the last probably like 18 months, really. And I slept really well in Portugal. When we were in Lisbon, I slept really, really well. I had sleep scores, according to my watch, over 90, which never happens. If I get it over 70, 80, that's brilliant for me. Today's like 55. And in Portugal, it was over 90 most nights, or in the 80s, which is really good for me. So we'll see. But what I'm thinking about is, as I'm not going to be able to finish the clutch frame for this today, I was thinking, do I take this lining out, because it'll go perfectly with the other colorway, and then I could take the lining with me and a metal clutch frame and actually finish the knitting and then put the whole thing together in Norway? Or do I just take the knitting? It'll be easier to fit it back in my backpack to bring it home if I don't take the clutch frame and the lining. The lining doesn't take up a lot of space, but it's the clutch frame. It doesn't take up a lot of space, but takes up a little bit of space, and my backpack is really full. Obviously, I need to have a bit of space coming back in case I buy anything. There are a few things in there, like my medication, which I won't bring back. I've got a bag of protein powder, which I won't be bringing back. And I got these wipes for my eyelids. I have a condition called blepharitis, and the eye doctor I saw a few months ago recommended either like cleansing my eyelids after I removed my makeup. Told me I shouldn't be wearing eyeliner. Not going to happen. I'm not giving up my eyeliner. But he said, after you've taken your makeup off, wash your eyelids with baby shampoo. But it's a bit of hassle when you're traveling to bring baby shampoo, because obviously I travel hand luggage only. And he said you can also buy wipes, eyelid cleansing wipes. So I bought some of those on Amazon, and I bought a new pack, a different brand, and they're a lot thicker than my original brand. So I've packed enough for those for 2 weeks, or just over 2 weeks. So that's quite chunky as well. So there's a few things in there that won't be coming home with me. So I will have a little bit more space in my suitcase coming back. Also, there's a yarn shop now at Oslo Airport. When you go through security, it's in the domestic departure section before you go through the international departures. And the good thing about, even when you're flying with low-cost airlines on their basic ticket, like I do, so I can only take a backpack on board, you can also take a bag of airport shopping with you. Now, I wouldn't push it and take like a really big bag of airport shopping, because you are supposed to fit everything under the seat in front of you if you paid for the basic ticket. But on the way back, I've actually treated myself, because it's such a long travel day. I'm actually sitting in an emergency exit aisle seat, which means that all my luggage has to go in the overhead locker, because you're not allowed to have it by your feet during takeoff and landing. So that makes it a bit easier. So if I buy any yarn at the airport, I can get them to give me a shopping bag, and then that can go in there. And if I buy any other yarn or knitting related things when I'm in Norway, I can just keep that in a separate bag till I get to the airport, and then put it in with the stuff I buy from the airport yarn shop, because airline staff won't know. In fact, I can imagine if they quiz me about what's in my shopping bag and them saying, well, that's not airport shopping, and I can go, yes, it is. There's a yarn shop at this airport. I've checked their opening hours, and they should be open when I get there. Tend to get to the airport quite early, so if I get there too early, I will just have my breakfast in the domestic departure area, because once you go through security, you're in the domestic area, and there's loads of restaurants there. So if I get there too early, I'll just have my breakfast there and hang out there till the yarn shop opens. I think they open at 8 or 8:30. I don't think my flight's till like 11. So by the time I get through security, they'll probably be open. But I'm really excited about yarn shopping in an airport. It's only a pop-up shop. It's due to be there for 6 months, I think till about March next year. When we go in December, when we come back, we're flying really late in the evening, so I expect they will be closed before we fly home, so I won't be able to visit it then. So then I may go again in February or something, but I may not be coming back till March, so I don't know whether they'll still be there. So this might be my only chance. I'm also taking my new project bag from Lisbon, because it's so small. It's just like a thin cotton bag for the project I have in Norway, because I'll probably cast on for the project I have in Norway. I have yarn in this color for a sweater in Norway. That's sun bleach, because it was on my windowsill all summer. So I'm going to cast on the sleeveless top. I want to do that possibly not on Thursday, but like before the weekend. I just need to write the pattern. I've counted my stitches, so I know my tension and stuff. So when I get there, when I get a chance, I can just write the pattern and start knitting that. So I will probably start knitting that before I finish that project. So I'm taking this extra project bag, because it doesn't take much space. May leave this in Norway. Actually, I'm not sure. So I need to finish some work, pack my laptop and the lead, pack my mic and my selfie stick, tripod thingy, pack my knitting, pack my Kindle in the morning, and then I think I'm ready to go. So I'll see you tomorrow on the way to Norway. Hello, I'm in Norway, so I'm just going to catch you up on my travels, show you some footage from traveling here. and show you what I've been knitting. Well, I knitted on the day I was travelling yesterday, and the new project I finally cast on. If you've been following me for a while, you might guess what it is, because I planned it back in May when I was here. I am a little bit hot this morning because I've been to the gym, because I've been away so many times this year, and especially this autumn, I'm away so much that when I was trying to work out how many workouts I would be able to get in, I'm just missing so much. And I haven't done a full proper spin class since before we went to Portugal, because when we got home, I went to the gym once, I think. Yes, I went to Pilates class once, I went to the gym once, and then I caught this really bad cold and I wasn't able to go again. I'm still a little bit, the cold's not completely gone. I feel fine, but I just sound not like I'm fine, but I'm not blowing my nose all the time. I'm not coughing all the time, so that's good. Cast on for a new project on, what day did I travel? Wednesday, Tuesday evening, and I just did like 6 or 7 rows, I think. So I finished the base of this on the train. It's a new version of the clutch bag I was talking about at the beginning of this video, and I knitted, I think, all of the base on the train. Then when I got to the lounge, I picked up the stitches, and I think I did about 3 repeats. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on the 6th repeat now. So I did 1, 2, 3. So I got to about there in the lounge. I did knit on the plane. I booked an aisle seat right at the front in row 2. I don't like to be in row 1 because you just end up having loads of people queuing in front of you, hanging around in front of you to go to the toilets and stuff. And also because you can't have your bag by your feet when you get up, you then have to try and get your bag out of the overhead lockers. So I've decided row 2 aisle seat is best on the left hand side of the plane. Then I can get up as soon as the plane stops and the seatbelt sign goes off, grab my bag and be off the plane. When I did that in July when I was here, when my flight was delayed, I was the first person off the plane. The guy opposite me kind of looked at me when I shot up as soon as the seatbelt sign went off, and I said, I've got a train to catch, I'm about to miss the last train. And he just said, oh, go ahead. But this time the people in the front row were also very quick, so I wasn't the first one off the plane. When I got on the plane, I boarded quite late because the plane was delayed coming in, and I followed it on Flight Radar, so I knew it was going to be delayed. So, and they asked us to actually start queuing up for boarding and queuing down the hallway, and they don't use the air bridge or jet bridge at Stansted. You have to queue, you have to board from the ground, but they make you queue in the hallway and the stairs going down to the ground before the plane's even landed. And I could see from Flight Radar the flight wasn't even, I mean, it wasn't even on the approach to Stansted. So I thought, I'm not queuing up yet, especially as I haven't got priorities. So I haven't got a suitcase or anything I've got to worry about space for in the overhead locker. So I just sat there till I could see that the queue, after where they check your boarding pass and stuff, that they were queued up in the hallway. And I thought, I don't really want to queue up till that starts moving. But I did eventually, because the queue got very short. So I went to queue up. Now, I knew my bag was very full. I tried to put it in one of the side bins before I went through security, and I had to really shove it in, and I was struggling. So before I left the lounge, I took my sweater out. I had one of my alpaca silk, my grey with slight beads on, with a few beads on, a sweater that I knitted last winter. I took that out, and I thought I'll just carry that over my arm with my coat, and then if it's cold on the plane, I can put that on. And I also took out my scarf and just put it around my neck. So that made my bag a little bit more squashable. Okay, so got here really late. It was probably midnight by the time we got to my parents' flat. So I had a line yesterday, then went shopping with my mum, and then in the afternoon I cast on for this project. So I bought this yarn when I was here in May. It was half price at the local yarn shop. It is Darlagan, so Norwegian yarn company. Tin, which means thin, kid silk ala, and it's 53% kid mohair, 34% silk, 30% wool. And I am knitting on the 3.5mm needles. Now, I said last episode or a few episodes ago that I had knitted the swatch, but I couldn't remember what needle size I'd used. But I thought it was probably 3.5mm. Well, when I got here, the needles and the yarn I'd used for the swatch was in this little bag. from a local shop. So I put the needles with the yarn that I used in the bag ready to go. So that was very good because I then knew it was 2.5mm. Anyway, I'm doing a slightly different construction from what I've done before. So this is my full back cross back width. Top down, this is the back. I've got some short rows at the front. I'm trying to do a kind of European shoulder. I've never done it before, and I was looking up online about doing it, but a lot of the stuff I was reading up said to do increases. I've done short rows instead, so I think it gives you a smoother line. So we'll see how that works out. It's a sleeveless top because I think I have 8 balls. So are they 25-gram balls? Yes, it's 25-gram, 287, and I think I've got 8. So 200 grams. It's what I used. It's about the same thickness that I used for my alpaca silk sweaters, of which I've knitted 4, I think, in total. 2 of them on slightly bigger needles and 2 on slightly smaller needles, and I'm much happier with the smaller needles. And I was considering doing that, but because those are alpaca silk, they're a little bit fluffy, but aren't as fluffy as this. Because this is mohair, and I'm not 100% sure if I really like mohair, because it just sticks to my clothes. I wear a lot of black and it just sticks to my clothes. Like my jeans last night was covered in black fluff. So I thought I wouldn't have bought this. I wouldn't have bought this if it wasn't in the sale. I only bought it because it was in the sale. So I decided to hold 2 strands double and knit a sleeveless top instead of knitting a sweater. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm enjoying knitting it. I want to go to cinema sometime over the weekend and see the Downton Abbey movie. I thought the last 2 Downton Abbey movies, the first one was rubbish. I thought it was really bad compared to the TV series. Second one was better. This is the final one, apparently. And I don't have high hopes, but I do fancy seeing it because I've seen all the others. So I might as well see it. But I need something to knit. I can't take my beaded knitting. This would be fine at the point where I'm now because I just got it straight for a while. But I was thinking if I could get the front and the back to the underarm, so I'm knitting in the round because I'm knitting the back straight to the underarm, and I'll pick up stitches at the shoulders and knit the fronts to the underarm, and then knit in the round. If I could get to that point, it'd be better. It's Friday today, Friday lunchtime, so I won't. It depends on when I go. I am thinking about going tomorrow afternoon, in which case I won't get to where I want to. But if I go on Sunday or Monday, maybe, I need to see if my mum wants to come. I did say the film is over 2 hours long, and she said, I don't know if I can sit still for that long. Anyway, so we'll see. I might go on my own, in which case I might go tomorrow. But it just depends on the weather and what my mum wants to do tomorrow. If she wants to go out somewhere, then I'll go on Sunday, because tomorrow is about 3 in the afternoon. Sunday, I think, is in the evening, so we'll see. So I thought if I could get started on that project, that would be a good project to take with me, because it's fairly small at this point. Even though it will leave me covered in fluffs, I need to make sure I don't wear anything black. That's it for today. Thank you very much. I'm hoping to put out an episode on Sunday, but it just depends on what we do. If we don't do enough, then I'm not going to bother. It'll be Tuesday instead. So if I do go to the cinema tomorrow, it's close to a couple of minutes walk from a big shopping centre. So where there's the yarn shops, if I'm going to go tomorrow, my plan was to go a couple hours early and have a look around the shops and go to the yarn shop before I go to the cinema. So there might be some yarn shopping in the next one, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.